want to make sure everyone has everything they need. Do you have your water bottles filled with water? How about some sunscreen to make sure we don't get any sunburns? A hat and sunglasses to make sure we can see and we don't get any sun on our face? What about our lunch box with our snack and our lunch in it? And don't forget your binoculars. Did you bring your binoculars? Good. Everyone has everything we need? Awesome. Now it's time to go into the zoo. Wonder what animals we'll see. But make sure we don't run in front of our parents. We don't go too far ahead where they can't see us. You stay by parents or a teacher. Hold hands with a parent or teacher or one of your friends. You guys can't even hold my hands, okay? Let's go see what animals we're going to see today.
Okay, guys, we're here in the zoo. Remember, we start always at the entrance because that's where we come in. Now, we always have to start our day by walking to the middle of the zoo. How many steps will it take us to get to the middle of the zoo? Let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 steps. So let's take those 5 steps. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now we have a lot of choices to make. We can either go left and see Cat Canyon or the birds in the acrobatic aviary. We can go straight ahead to see the reptile house. We can go right to go see our confusing creatures or our African plains. I wonder what we'll choose today. I know. Let's go left. So, we're going to go to this star over here because this is our left. How many steps does it take to get to the next star? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So let's take 7 steps to get from our star to the next star. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Good job. Now we can either turn right and go see Cat Canyon again, or we can turn left and go see the acrobatic aviary. That's where the birds live. Where should we go? Should we go left or right? Let's go left. How many steps will it take us to get there? Let's see. 1, 2, 3. So let's take 3 steps. 1, 2, and 3. Okay, friends, we're at acrobatic aviary. I wonder what type of birds we'll see here. Will it be this one? Ooh, that was a pretty dance. How about this one? Ooh, that has a lot of pretty colors. What about this one? That one looks kind of funny. What about this one? Whoa, that one has a lot of bright colors. Well, the only way we'll know what animals we're going to see is to go to the first exhibit. Let's go to the first exhibit and find out what animal we're going to see. Oh, look at that. I think I know what animals these are. Do you guys know what animals these are? That's right. This is the peacock and this is the peahen because that's a boy and that's a girl. Now let's look at our names up here. This says peacock and that says peahen. Let's spell peacock. Ready? Or count out how many letters are in peacock. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 letters in peacock. And how many letters in peahen? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Wow, that's pretty cool. Now, peacocks sometimes live in groups. And a group of peacocks isn't called a flock, but it's actually called a party or a pride. That sounds like a lot of fun. And when you have peacocks and peahens together, they're called peafowl. And when you have a family peafowl, that's called a bevy. Peacocks have been kept as pets for thousands of years. But should we really be keeping them as pets? No, they're wild animals. We should let them stay in the wild. Peafowl like to eat seeds, plants, insects, and small reptiles. So that means they're called something called omnivore. Can you say omnivore? It means they eat plants and meat. Good job, guys. In India, peacocks are considered sacred. So they don't want anyone touching the peacocks or messing with them. So if you see here, the male peacock has beautiful long tail feathers, and that's called a covert or a train. And right now he's spreading his tail feathers into a fan. The fans are covered with sparkling circles or eyes in purple, red, and yellow. And the feathers are usually blue or green. Male peacocks use these feathers displays to attract a female. And the female peahens seem to prefer the boys with the largest and brightest fans. The long tail feathers of the peacocks help make the peacock look bigger and intimidating if he feels threatened by predators, so if he feels scared. And sometimes those feathers, they'll fall off every year and he'll grow new ones. So it's okay if you see one laying on the ground, but we don't ever want to try and take it from him. The female peahens are usually grayish or brown, and they need to blend in with the rocks to help protect herself and her pea chicks. That's what the babies are called. Now, I just happened to see one start to do his dance, so we need to be very quiet. We don't want to scare them off so we can hear how his feathers move too. Hear it? Kind of sounds like someone pushing in the branches of a bush. Or stepping on leaves. Wow. Look at all those feathers. I guess she doesn't like him too much. Were you able to hear the sound those feathers made? To me, it sounded like they were leaves. That was so cool to hear the feathers move like that. I guess she wasn't interested in him today. Maybe she might like him another day. Peahens can lay 3 to 6 eggs called a clutch. And over here is a picture of what their eggs look like. They look like the eggs we eat, but some of them are more white and others are more of a brown color, probably because it's in the dirt. Peafowl are from Central Africa and South Asia, and they like to live in the rainforest. They can live to be over 20 years old. But it's said that the peacock's feathers look best around when he's 5 or 6 years old. Peacocks are one of the largest flying birds, but they prefer to stay on the ground because of their heavy tails. And peacocks have one of the loudest calls of all birds. They typically travel in groups of 8 to 10. The noises are to help grab attention of the peahen and also make sure the predators know where they are. So let's take a listen to see what they sound like. Wow, they sure were loud, and it looked kind of scary when it was looking right at us. But it was so pretty when it was flying. Well, we spent a lot of time here looking at the peafowls. I think it's time for us to move on. I wonder what our next bird's going to be. Ooh, look at that pretty bird. That pretty bird is called a bee eater. Now let's look at the name and count how many letters are in the name. First, we're going to look at the first word. Ready? 1, 2, 3. 3 letters in the first word. And how many letters are in the second word? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But how many letters are there altogether? That means we have to count all the letters and we don't stop counting in the middle. We keep going. Let's try it. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 letters altogether in bee eater. Now, what is the first letter that we see in the first word? That's right, the letter B. And what does B say? B, B, B. Good job. And what's the first letter in eater? That's right, the E. And what does E say? That's right, eh, 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 eh. Now, there are at least 26 types of bee eater birds. It means there are 26 different ways that these birds can look. That's a lot of birds. The bee eater can be found in Africa, Asia, Europe, Australia, and New Guinea. And they live in large groups called colonies. There can be up to 200 birds in a colony. Oh my goodness. That's like saying you have 200 people in your family living in one roof. That's too many people for me. The males and the females are different for the bee eaters than they were for the peafowl. The males and the females in bee eaters, they look the same. They didn't with the peafowl. Should we hear what they sound like? that bird was very quiet, don't you think? That bird was using those calls to talk with just their family to let them know where they are and see if they need any help. The bee eater is an insectivore. What do you think that might mean? That's right, it likes to eat insects. What do you think it really likes to eat? Let's see, its name is bee eater, so it might like to eat, that's right, bees. It loves eating bees, but it will eat other flying insects. Now what's kind of nice is when it captures a bee or an insect that has a stinger on it, it'll grab that bee in mid-flight and then rub its bottom against a branch or a hard surface to get rid of the stinger so it doesn't hurt him. That's pretty smart. Now if you look over here, you can see how the bee eaters make their homes. They make their homes in the side of cliffs. What they will do is they'll use their legs to push the soil backwards. And they kind of do it as if they were pedaling a bicycle. Do you think they'd be good at riding bicycles? I don't think so either. I think they'd need to be able to try and use their wings to do the handlebars. Too hard for them. I think we'll stick to the bicycles. Now, the bee eater lays 2 to 5 eggs, and mom and dad take turns keeping the eggs warm. But only the mom keeps them warm at night. Bee eaters are awake during the day and asleep at night, so they're like us. But they don't take baths like we do. Instead, they'll roll around in some dust to keep clean. Bee eaters can live to be 5 to 6 years old. That's not very old, is it? Now, do any of you know the video game Angry Birds? They say the game may have been inspired by bee eaters. Let's put on our binoculars and watch some bee eaters. Wow, those birds were beautiful. And it was nice to know that the birds like to help each other out, that they're not just looking out for themselves. But thinking about them having food kind of makes me hungry too. I hope it's snack time. Yes, it's snack time. Woohoo! Okay, everyone, time to find a nice place on the grass here at the zoo to spread out, eat our yummy snack, and talk about the cool things we learned about the bee eater and the peafowl. So that's the peacock, the peahen, or even the pea chicks. So I want you to tell mom, dad, your friends, me, something new you learned and what you thought was kind of interesting. And then you'll have to wait and find out what animals we're going to see next. I'll see you guys after the break.